Alright, so basically, start off, we want to get our map name. We want to open the zone file. It's going to open us the zone file. We also want to open the GSE, maybe depends on what you're doing with your HUD, but we can work that out later. And your CSE will want as well. In the description, there will be two files that you want to download. One is a LUI template, which just goes into a little tiny touch of how to add an image and how to add text. And then it also includes the close function and also the open. And then we want to go to this file here. This one is your base T7 HUD, the one that comes with Black Ops 3. All of this is all changeable. Um, if there's any issues, there's a Discord down below where there's a lot smarter people that can help you out. This is basically just a really rough basic introduction into how to add a widget. Um, so we've got a map name for our zombies map. Then we want to open the map folder, which is right here. Then we're going to want to make a new folder named UI. Doesn't really matter what you name it. I like to do UI, and then I like to do HUD, and then this will be where the base HUD goes. This is how I do it personally. But yeah, it doesn't really matter as long as you know where you're putting this stuff. And then I do widgets in this one, like that. And then in here will be basically just this, which is all your different widgets. So let's rename this one, and let's just name it LUI Tut. And then we go back to the HUD. Oops. And then this one here, we also want to rename. Let's just name it LUI main. Sure, let's select that. We open these, then they work properly. Widgets, there we go. Alright, now, first things first, we're going to want to go to actually no, you know what, we'll do zone first. So open your zone file, and then here, I recommend doing an include, and then doing whatever you want to name it. So I'm just going to do LUI tutorial, just LUI tut, that'll do fine. Actually, I'm probably not going to do that. That might cause issues, so I'll just do that one. And then I'm going to go to my map folder, and then I'm going to go to zone source, and then I'm going to create a new text document. I'm going to put it that exact same name, and I'm going to do ZPKG, which is a zone package. And then inside this, all of my HUD elements will be in here. So if I want to have an image, for example, I do image and then ape name. If I want to do, I don't know, font, I do TTF and then I do, you know, font name with path and whatever like that. I believe it's TTF actually, I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it is. But for now, let's keep that open and let's move to ape. I'm going to quickly find an image I want to use. Alright, I've found an image and I'm going to now put the image into my Z package, which is just a one that I've just quickly made up for a HUD that I'm working on. So you want to put the ape name in here. Bring out ape, please, stop lagging. So ape name, which is the name of the file in ape, not the name of the folder for the file itself, but the one in ape. And then we also want raw file, and then we're going to want the path of the UI and the widget, the HUD and the widget. That one can bugger off. So we want UI HUD, so UI HUD, and then we want lua tut underscore main dot lua. Make sure you put the dot lua at the end, and then we also want UI UI widgets, and then lua underscore tut dot lua. And then that will zone them and basically make sure that they're loaded so then things can access them. Then we can go to the CSC, and in here we want to include the main HUD. I actually forgot what it was, so just give me 1 second really quickly. I'll find that out. Alright, I found that. So that'll be LUI load, as you can see there, and then you'll have the string, which string is always in quotations, and then we want to do the path of the main HUD, but we don't want to do slashes here. We want to do dots instead, periods or full stops or however you call them. So we go UI dot HUD dot, and then the name is LUI tut main, like that. And this one here, we don't want to have dot .lua, we just want to have, make sure we put the semicolon at the end there. Okay, so for the purpose of this tutorial, I am also going to teach you how to do a text TTF, whatever the fuck. It's a font. So we want to do TTF, and then we want to just basically do the actual like name of the font and the path of the font. So we'll have, doesn't matter where you put it. I like to keep it, you know, sort of sorted out and sort of centralized to what folders are for what, etc, etc. Anyways, so we want the file path, and then we want the name of it, of the font, and then we want TTF at the end. So TTF, comma, fonts slash TF2 or whatever the font name is, dot TTF. And then back here in your main map folder, you want to go here, make a new folder, and just name it fonts. And then in this folder, let me just quickly whip up the other font. Just give me a second. Okay, so we don't actually want fonts here. You want to go back to here, and the main folder here, fonts, is in your root, not your map folder name, sorry. So we want to go to the root, and this will be where all your true type font files are. That's what it's called. And then basically that's kind of the gist of it. So this is all LUI stuff here. This is font, and then this is images. Basically, that's your LUIs, that's your fonts, that's your images. That's kind of the gist of it. And then we want to go back to the main HUD, this one here. Now, if we're adding a brand new element, widget, whatever, we want to make a new one of these. But if we are overriding one, we will want to change the name that it gets the information from. So let's find an easy one to understand here. Let's go, there's none really here, is there? Let's just go run container, right? So this here will be where it gets the information from, this file name here. So if we want to overwrite the round container and we want to do, so let's say a different round number, we would go to Kingslayer Kyle's GitHub, and on there is all of his HUDs that he's ever done, and just go into the widgets, into the round containers, and see how he's done them, or even you can just copy and like download that one round container file and put it into your map, and then basically just change around a couple things and make it look like how you want it to look like. Make sure you're crediting Kyle, of course. Also, if you're using this this HUD base in the description, make sure you're crediting Mikey, Ray, and Jarek. If you don't, I will be very, very mad. But yeah, so let's say we're adding a new element. So let's go self dot, doesn't matter, sorry, widget. So let's do self dot lua tut equals cod dot lua tut. Doesn't matter what you name it, it's just easier to kind of remember everything and all that. Self comma controller, and then self dot lua tut again, and then this will be setting the size of the container. Whoops, left, right. Now, your anchoring, this is this part, so this will be determining where it is, so your left and right. So this will anchor it to the right. So false true anchors it to the right because you're going setting left anchor to false, right anchor to true, right? Now if you do it the other way around, where it's true false, then you'll do the opposite. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to put it smack bang in the middle and do let's say negative 40, 40, and this should come up in the middle of the screen. And then self.luitut, and then we do the same for set top bottom. It's the exact same way as left right, except this is on your like z-axis, I guess, and left right is on your x. And then we want to go false, false, 40, negative 40, and then we want to self.luitut, no, self-colon, add element, self.luitut. There we go. And that will add your element, no, or your widget, sorry. We want to copy this name here, and we want to go right down the bottom, so we find the close function here. Then at the bottom of this, we want to go element dot your widget name, colon close, and then brackets. And this will close the I guess it's a function, I don't know, it'll close the widget, so when you fast restart or whatever like that, it will actually properly reinitialize the HUD basically when you fast restart, and etc, etc. Make sure it closes when it should. Then we go up to the LUI widget, whatever, and make sure we have that name, that widget name still copied, and we want to put it up here and here and here. So LUI inherit from LUI.UI element. And then this will be good, and then also here as well, sorry, the set class there. Now for your element name and these spots here, this is your text and this is your image. This is your basic sort of way of how to add stuff. There's different ways of adding. You can have, you know, like different colors, whatever like that. But for this tutorial, we're basically just adding a text and image. So for here, let's just rename these elements to LUI underscore text, just for our sake. Nice and easy. And then we come down here and make sure we close it in the widget as well, otherwise you will have issues as before. And then same here, I'm just going to rename this one to LUI underscore image, and then I will put that and then close it. It's really easy when you're adding a widget element, whatever. Make sure you close it at that same time, otherwise you will forget. Kyle does have a tool called widget close checker, I believe it is. I believe it is on his GitHub as well. So what you do is you basically just drop your UI folder onto the .exe, and it will tell you all the elements and widgets, whatever that you have not closed, and then you can go in and close them and make it nice and easy. Your text here, so we want to do engine.localize whenever we do text. This will auto convert the string to be to the user's local language. So we want to be able to support as many languages as we want on our maps. So say for German, for example, if I type in here in English, this is a string, this will then convert to German, I believe. Maybe wrong on that. Might not be. I have no idea. I believe that's what that engine.localize does though, and it also is good for engine stuff as well. Alright, so next thing we want to do is add an image. So let's go back to our Z package, and then remember this image here, we want exactly just this name here. The name in ape. We want to paste that in. Now this should basically be it. Yeah, I believe so. So let's go over and where did I put it? There it is. This is a brand new map as well, so I didn't compile light or link or whatever before. But this should work and should be a very basic sort of understanding on how to add widgets and whatever. Oh, also something I should say is make sure you've got leak mod installed. LUI will not work without leak mod, and make sure you put it in the right spot, because I see a lot of people putting it just in root, but it does not go in root. It goes in bin. You put it into bin, And if it says, do you want to overwrite this file? Click yes. And then, hey presto, your leak mod is installed, and it'll work when it compiles. It should say somewhere like around here. Something like that. Anyways, let's wait for this to be done. Cool, there it is. Let's run the map, and then I'll see you in game. Alright, so here we are. As you can see, it did not work because I'm a dumbass. Okay, so I had some issues with the images not coming up, so I just quickly changed the sizing to be with the full screen. Got this from another HUD that I was working on. So both put them, oops. Let's fix that one up as well. I know, this should come up to about up top there, hopefully. Let's try this again. I don't know, I'm not having any issues here, so we'll see. Most likely, if your images or text or whatever doesn't come up and you're not getting an issue or an error or whatever in your linker, then it's 9 times out of 10 the sizing of the widget or the elements inside the widget. Which is a pretty simple fix. You can just go in and just change them and then relink. There's a couple of programs that you can use. There's one called HUD editor or whatever. I can't remember. I don't know where to find that one. I think that one's like uh, deprecated or whatever. It's not updated anymore. And then you've got, which is the one a lot of people use, is LUI GUI. LUI GUI isn't very accurate, but it allows you to get a sort of rough idea of where things should be, and then you can just move the images and text around like that based on where they are on screen and all that. And then another program that I like to use personally is called T7 Overcharged. There'll be a link to the GitHub in the description. There's a dead version and a live version. But yeah, it's still not working, so I don't know. Alright, so I found out the issue. Don't be an idiot. Don't put it in your HUD-base.lua. That is not where it should be. That's a file that is in not even MBO3. I put it in the wrong bloody file. This is actually a pretty good thing that happened though, is that you want to put a lot of your widgets below your bubblegum pack in game. So below this one here, with custom widgets. I don't know why. I think this is better for the engine or whatever it is. And then actually re-add the element dot colon close, and then that should then work. I don't know why I was not getting an error in the link though. It's very strange. So let's close that and then rebuild. Okay, so something I actually forgot. We need to add the require. This is your sort of using for your thing. So we want UI dot HUD. No, this is not HUD. We want to add widgets in this part. This is your main HUD, so we want to add widgets. So UI widgets dot, and then we have the name of the widget. So LUI tut, and then that is it. We don't do semicolons in LUI. And then I believe, let's test it. Alright, here we go. So yeah, that's all I was missing was the cursed require. Let's go back to the LUI tut. So this require here, make sure you add it, and make sure you do it in your actual main HUD, and you're not going to have issues. So obviously this looks really bad, but you know, this is just a proof of concept just to make sure that it actually works for people and whatever like that. So yeah, I want to add in here that I'm going to keep all the errors that I had in the video. That way people can work out what the issues that I had were and how, you know, just some common issues that happen with LUI and all that. And another program that I really highly recommend is the T7 patch by Sirius. It will give you a stack trace of any LUI error, or most LUI errors. And what that means is you'll basically be able to tell where the error is. If you were using T7 Overcharged, do not use T7 Patch. I don't think that they work together. They might cause issues with each other or whatever like that. But yeah, just recommend one or the other. But if you're not using T7 overcharged 9 times out of 10. Just use T7 patch. It also fixes the main menu lag and all that sort of stuff as well. So great for gameplay. But yeah, hopefully I didn't, give you guys wrong information or whatever. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.